I knew it. Another Heard At Media production.
Yeah, get it boozing. You know what? I was like, this will be really fun. But on the same token, you're a fucking bulldog and I'm a Buckeye.
We don't think about you.
And you crushed my national championship dreams.
I don't feel bad for the Buckeyes, not even a little bit.
Do you hate the Buckeyes?
No, I don't think about them. You know,
who are you thinking about right now as the season's
I'm
going?
just saying, in my fandom, Florida and Tennessee are the enemy.
Florida.
Yeah, but that was in the past. They gave us a lot of trouble, but I don't know. I mean, Bama's so good; it's sort of admirable, you know. But
I'm so over them, though. I'm over them.
I think everyone is.
God, they're so freaking annoying. What about Vandy, though? I do root for your Vandy every now and then.
They suck.
They don't know. I feel bad. I know people that went there, and I'm like, that was a good try.
It's a fun place. Nashville's great.
Nashville's incredible. Everyone listening knows I'm a psycho Buckeye. So that's why I had to start this whole thing because yeah. Was it 1 year ago?
1 year ago that what?
That you guys beat us by a point.
Yeah, y'all played really well. We sort of snuck away there.
You snuck away. So Shep's Bulldogs beat us at the very end by 1 point, shattering.
We just steamrolled TCU in the final game. I wasn't even able to watch. I was in Cape Town, South Africa at a wedding. And so I was like trying to get information all I could. And then I had a chance to fly to LA. Once I landed in Atlanta from Cape Town, I had a chance to fly to LA and go to the game. And I was just like, I can't do it. Like, it's too much.
Too much. Wait, who books a wedding though during the national championship?
People that don't care about college football.
How the fuck do you care about college football? It's the only thing I care about.
One of them was the girl was South African, so
okay, fine, whatever.
But it was so cool, man. I highly recommend Cape Town. And there's this little town called it's outside. It's wine country outside of Cape Town, Stellenbosch, and it is fantastic. It looks like someone dropped Napa Valley in like Yosemite National Park.
That's awesome.
It's stunning and cheap. I mean, inexpensive, cheap, whatever. We went, like 6 of us went to a winery and had like a 5-course meal and several bottles of wine, and it was $55 a head. I was like, get out of here.
What?
Yeah.
I can't even find that back in Ohio where I used to live.
And I kind of like snooped around downtown one afternoon, and the real estate was insane, like a 4-bedroom house with infinity pool and a view of a mountain range for $700,000 US.
Doesn't that like hurt your heart though a little bit, because then you go back to home and you're like, I can't even get I mean, so I'm in LA. So where you are in Charleston, what is it? Is it comparable? Are you guys cheaper? What is it?
It's gotten insane. It's gotten crazy. I mean, I remember before COVID, the most a house went for on Sullivan's Island, which was definitely like the Malibu of Charleston, like, and the highest a woman sold a house for $8 million, a divorced woman, and everybody was like, whoa. And now that's nothing now. Nothing. I mean, it is something, but that's
Wait a minute. So what would like a nice, like a dope house there go for?
Right now, 12.
No shit. And that's just since COVID?
Yeah. COVID's been crazy. I mean, you have everybody sort of realizing that they don't have to live in their, metropolis or,
Here.
I like LA. I think you have a lot of space. There's lots of space in LA, and I love, I know Venice Beach is not without its problems, but I love Venice and I love Santa Monica. I'm a surfer, so I love anything near the water. But yes, it's expensive. However, like I just think people who are living on top of a million other people, like in New York, and other places like that, we're like, wait, we don't have to do this. We can live down there.
Totally.
So we saw a ton of migration.
So are you just like so saturated now? Are you overcrowded
No,
getting out of
no,
the
I,
house?
I paid. I bought in 2014. I'm 3 blocks from the beach. I'm in a good position. Although I wish I'd, bought another place for the hell of it because, yeah, I mean, I don't want to sell my house. I could sell my house and come out like a bandit, but I love it there. I probably want to have a house there for the rest of my life.
Yeah, but like it's only going to go up.
Correct, correct. And
I
maybe
mean,
there'll be like a market correction, maybe like a hurricane or something will
don't
normalize it.
say that because you know what? I'm looking, we just got a place and like the ocean's like we're a block from it. It's the same thing. And it's so freaking expensive, but you just got to hope that it's going to just keep going up and you're going to like recoup all that money and then some.
I know. I just don't have a huge risk appetite. I'm my father's son and my grandfather's grandson. I mean, I respect people that like are like, oh, we're taking out a second mortgage. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Like, and like everything's hanging in the balance, and they're able to live like a calm life. Like, I can't do that. I would be like on pins and needles. I don't like stress.
Wait a minute. So you'll go like you won't take a risk in real estate, but like drop of a hat, you'll go to South Africa. Drop of a hat, you'll
Yes.
go and all
I'll
these
go to
things.
Nicaragua just because someone thought it was a good idea, and I'll jump in anyone's car and get it with a 6 pack. I'm confident in myself. I've lived all over the world, and like I've been in situations that are absolutely absurd, but I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the kindness of humanity in general that I really believe in. But I'm not an angry drunk. That helps.
Yeah.
I'm happy, and I can disarm people with humor, which always is a good thing. But I've definitely been in situations where I'm like, I should not be here. How did I get here? But and that's why and that's why people are like, oh, I have a carry permit, and I understand to a certain degree. Like I'm a hunter, so I understand the gun culture and everything. Don't agree with a lot of it, but I'm like, I have been in amazingly dangerous situations, and not once would a gun have helped me in said situation. You know what I mean?
With people, like with people
Just
doing shit.
anything. Yeah. I mean, you enter a gun into the equation, and the stakes just got a little insane, right?
Yeah.
However, I will say this: if I was a female and living in sort of a big city, I would consider that because it's a lot different being a big tall guy,
You're what, 6'5"?
6'4", yeah.
6'4". So, but like
And I
what's the
can't fight for
craziest?
shit. But people have to respect the fact that I'm big, so that's
Of
good
course,
too.
just
Yeah,
you, the height
I could be
alone.
dangerous. It turns out I am not. You could probably knock me over with a feather, but
Would you be able to kick Austin's ass?
I don't know. I've never really gotten in a fight. I got in a fight in college over like a Nintendo game, like with my best friend. Like and we punched each other in the face.
But you've
Uh,
never been like a dude, like just like getting in brawls.
I would have no idea how to like knock somebody out. Like I've watched boxing before, and I'm semi-athletic, but I have no technique, nothing. Maybe I was thinking if we do another season, I should get into like taekwondo. Or
No,
something.
you know what you should do? You
What?
should jiu-jitsu.
No, right. Whatever the thing du jour is. Like
You should.
yeah, and
Because
maybe just like adopt a whole Western persona or like Eastern persona, like become a Buddhist or something.
dude, you believe that much and just humanity being kind and all that.
I do, and that's what's so confounding and depressing about the current state of things
I
in the
know.
U.S. and in other places because and that's why it's so social media, and I know that's the big scapegoat, but it's true. When you're behind a keyboard and you're
Totally.
faceless, you are a tough son of a bitch. Talk a big game. When you're in the grocery store and there's probably somebody like waiting in line next to you that you would disagree with so much on everything, you're like, hey, no, after you, no, after you. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
everyone wants to stay here on Earth. Rarely do you find someone who's willing to risk it all, whether that's go to jail or what have you. And yeah, I mean, no one really wants confrontation unless you're like a Hell's Angel or something.
I just feel like there's so much shit. Like literally, Shep, this week, there's like a crazy guy, and he was like, I'm gonna fucking kill all of you in my kid's church.
What?
And yeah,
Why?
it's all. It's just these. They're crazy. Like so, you. I don't know. I guess I see the opposite. I'm just like, God, you are probably shit until you prove me wrong.
Well, the South is way more
You're
normal.
nice.
Yeah, there's like a decorum here that is sort of lovely, you know, and people don't talk about it because there's a lot of other things that aren't so nice. But I don't know. It's hard. I'm here in the North Carolina mountains. Like there's someone was like, is there any crime there? I was like, none, absolutely none. Like no one, everyone minds their own business, is polite, and there's something lovely about that, you know. But I can't believe you're in your kid's church or in your church or whatever.
Yeah, like my kids go to a Catholic school, so the church that's like the school's church, and this crazy guy,
This guy,
kid.
what's his problem? Did we know anything about him?
No, he goes around to churches, like lurking around the school, and
Yeah.
he's posting fucking pictures of Jesus on the cross. But like, what are they gonna get him on? So it's just there's been
Well,
cops at the school every day. It's just
you know, and this is like the mental health part of the U.S.
yes,
And I've done some digging into it because I'm like curious person. And apparently back in the 80s, and my dad worked for the Reagan administration, and I have great respect for Ronald Reagan, but the government, and spearheaded a bit by him and his administration, cut funding to a lot of these mental institutions, which, by the way, were kind of like, if you ever watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or you
right.
ever seen any movie with like a dilapidated mental asylum, like they were frightening and really
Bad.
probably not all that good places. But what that did was put all these people out on the streets, I guess. I mean, I don't know what the solution is, but it's a problem, isn't it?
I mean, if you go here, it's just like we literally the only reason we moved from Marina, like near your Santa Monica Venice Marina.
Yeah,
The only Playa, the only reason we moved down to Manhattan Beach is because the homeless and like
yeah, yeah.
it was so
And they're all men. They're a lot of them are nuts. They're just quite literally
nuts.
nuts. Yeah, and what to do? You know, nobody wants to foot that bill. So,
It's just
but
crazy. Like I'm from like Ohio, like you. Like it's nice, it's cheap, it's
you know what's crazy?
friendly.
I was just in Anchorage, Alaska, because I was fishing. That's where we all met before we went out into the wilderness and spent a day and a night there. And I'd been there before, but the homeless problem in Anchorage is really bad, and it's crazy. And like I saw a guy like shouting at the sun, you know, and like another person like yelling at pigeons and stuff, and you're just like, oh, it's like it's tough. And I asked a Uber driver, and they were like, well, apparently the villages all around Anchorage, if there's someone nuts, they put them in a bus to Anchorage, and one-way ticket. I've heard that before in other U.S. cities, by the way.
Are you serious?
100%. That's what the guy said. That's what the guy said. I've not done.
I believe everything an Uber driver says.
Yeah, right.
No, but
Yeah, it
seriously, I
makes
mean,
sense. Yeah, I'll just send them to the big city. It's their problem, you know. I
I
don't know.
believe it. I believe it. I mean, we moved because like we saw it all the time. But like the final straw was like two people were literally just having sex on the sidewalk right there. And I'm like, okay, kids, close your eyes. And now our safe area, we're leaving. It's just, so I guess, you know what? It's just, you've been there. I'm from Ohio, right? Like everyone's friendly, no crime, like all this, right? Like you feel safe, all this,
Except
and then
all
I
the
moved out.
OxyContin addicts in Ohio. And
Well, yeah, well,
heroin.
that's why I brought all of it with me here.
No, I'm kidding. I'm reading a book called Dreamland. It's all about what happened in Ohio when the all the pain pill surge in the 90s, and then OxyContin, and then anyway, I'm like right in the middle of this book. So
In Ohio?
yeah, the Rust Belt. You didn't know about this?
Where was I? Why was I joining the party?
Write it down. It's called Dreamland. You've got to read this book. It's all about your home state. Not all of it.
See, Ohio's known for OxyContin and the Buckeyes.
You didn't know that?
Does it get better than that?
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
It is the dreamland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where would you live if you weren't there? If you like were leaving, I'm over living here, where would you go?
Without consideration of money or anything like that, or how to make a living and things like that.
You're just like, I need a change.
Yeah. I played this game before. And I would live in the Caribbean where there's good fly fishing and a good golf course, and maybe some good waves would be a good thing to surf. And then in the summer, I would live there in the winter, and then the summer I would go to Montana or someplace like that and fish some more and hang out at a saloon and pretend like I'm a cowboy or whatever. That's what I would do.
You just need to be outside.
Yeah, the things that I love to do are fishing, hunting, surfing, and golfing. And
I just saw, what errand did you have to run? Go get wine?
I have a guest in town. My parents just my parents left. I'm really proud of them. They're getting up there in age, 75 and 70. And they used to be huge travelers. And I mean, my dad grew up in Italy, actually, in Genoa, Italy. His dad was in this international steel business out of Middletown, Ohio.
I went to school at Miami, Ohio. I served at Texas Roadhouse in Middletown, Ohio.
Steel? Do you remember that company? It was like a big steel company in Ohio.
Wait, who?
Armco Steel. They probably, I mean, they
in Middletown.
Yeah, Middletown, Ohio. That was my granddad.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. So he was.
I totally remember people at where I would serve. I served to pay for bills and stuff during school at a Texas Roadhouse in Middleton.
Awesome.
And I totally remember a group of guys, I can see now, and they were talking about it, and they would always come in and they would always talk about it. And I was obviously the best server ever. At the end of the thing, I was like, do you guys need anything else? You'd go, oh my God, this was the best. They'd get out their calculator and be like, boop, boop, boop. Here you go, honey. Here's 10% with like change.
Ouch.
And that was like, but like, I would be lucky to get 10% tip then. Anyway, side note, Middleton. I know it very, very well.
Yeah. So my granddad worked for them, and he was in the international, he was like their international liaison. So my dad grew up in Genoa, Italy. He speaks fluent Italian.
What?
And
do you?
Oh hell no. He just came out of that whole experience with a big affinity for living abroad and traveling, and he's dead right. And it's really the most important thing you can try to do, or if you have children, promote them to take part in. I was lucky enough to have a dad that was really adamant about it. So I've lived in some amazing places, and I really, really appreciate that. So I don't know. I really I don't know where I'd live if I had my druthers, but the Caribbean sounds nice.
Where is like your favorite place though? That
sorry. I was in the middle of something. So
your granddad.
No, mom and dad used to go to China and Japan.
Yes.
Every year. And then and then Europe and all this stuff when we were growing up. And they kind of, as they got older, but slowed down. But now they're on a trip to Spain. They just landed in Madrid yesterday.
I
And
love that.
I know, and now they're gonna go to Portugal, I think, and all these places, and with a couple of their friends, and so I'm stoked for them. And I'm here in North Carolina taking care of their house, and I invited some friends into town to enjoy this beautiful weather. It's 70 degrees, it's like 60 degrees and sunny, and the leaves are all turning. And anyhow, the errand I had to run was one of my guests needed to go to a CVS, and so it's kind of hard to know where to go. It's not easy, but I know how to do it like the back of my hand.
Which guest is that, Shep?
Oh, I'm not going to reveal all that.
Is it a female at least?
There's a few. There's a couple males, a few females. Everyone's having a good time.
I bet they are. Wait a
Yeah.
minute. So your dad's 75, your mom's 70.
Hmm.
So that's not, dude, my parents are the same age and they bike down the Strand like every day, 20, 30 miles.
I know. They're good. They're active. Their minds are clear. I mean, we're lucky. I'm lucky. My brother and sister are too. I mean, they have friends that have dementia. They've had friends that have died of
No,
it's happening. It can either it happens quite quickly, bad health. And if you don't have health, you got nothing.
nothing. I know. I was just talking to somebody. They're like, do you know how much this costs? It was for something for them to get like an MRI. I'm like, you can't put a price tag on your health.
No,
Like, that's it. What the fuck else? You don't, I mean, that's it. Right.
that's right.
So when you were growing up, you guys just would live in different places just to see and experience?
No. I mean, I grew up in Hilton Head Island, and went to school there till the 10th or 9th through the 9th grade. But I mean, Hilton Head was great. We'd my mom would open up the back door in the summertime, and I'd get my mountain bike, and she said, "Be home for supper." So and me and my friends would terrorize the whole island, and just have fun. There was nothing really bad that could happen to you. But we traveled a lot as a family. We spent summers in Italy and things of that nature. And it's just, it's been a good ride.
Do you think that's why then now you're so into it? Just because like that was your world?
Well, I mean, I wish everybody, a couple things. I think the world would be a better place if everybody traveled. I think especially America, if you could send all the people that are fairly closed-minded on a month-long tour or longer around the world, they would come back with a completely different attitude. I'm convinced of that.
Agree.
And I mean, and here's the answer to the people who say, "Oh, well, you're lucky enough." Yeah, I'm lucky. I get it. I'm very, very fortunate. But I was in Byron Bay in Australia, and I went to a restaurant, and sat down and met the ownership. They were super cool Aussies. And then this girl came over. She was like, "Hey, I'm American. I work here." I was like, "Oh, cool." She was younger, and I was like, "Well, what brings you here?" She's like, "Well, I moved here from Indiana." I was like, "Oh yeah? Oh, what and what brings you here?" She goes, "I'm from Indiana." No offense to Indiana, but like she's like, I didn't want to stay there. Like I came from, modest, humble beginnings, and I was like, I got to get out of here. She's like, I saved up money. I bought a ticket to Australia. I've been here for 8 months now. I've got promoted. I'm about to be assistant manager. I've got all these friends. I go surfing every morning. I was like Jumanji or Eureka.
Yeah.
I was
Dude,
like,
I can't. It's kind of creepy that
all you need is a plane ticket and some guts and some guts
and
Save
guts. It's kind of freaky that you just told me that story because it's not kind of. It's a lot of freaky because I moved here from LA knowing nobody, having nothing. And when I first got here 10, 11 years ago, people would be like, why did you move here to LA? And I said, because I'm from Ohio. Like, why did you leave Ohio? It's because it's Ohio. I was like, we have the Browns and the Bengals. It's Ohio. Like, what else do you fucking need? That's why I'm like, I literally would say that to everybody. Like, why did you leave Ohio? It's Ohio. Like everybody. Now, I was younger now I'm like, thank God I grew up in Ohio, right? It's just like
Sure.
it's a different world. It teaches you kindness and to appreciate things. And it just
Small
like
town
all the,
stuff. Yeah,
yes.
values. Yes.
Like I grew up, like you grew up outside fishing and surfing. Like I grew up on the basketball court. We built a half basketball court in my backyard, and it was like go. Are
I
you
grew
wearing
up on a
Air
basketball
Jordans?
court too.
Oh, look who it is!
Little Craig.
Oh my
Craig,
God.
say hi.
Hi, Craig. You're definitely the much more handsome Craig. By it, and I'm sure you're a better color. And
Oh,
Spooner.
really?
Oh
He's
my God. Shep. Is it
boy.
fucking crazy? I remember when you got that dog. Is that insane?
No, it's not crazy. I
But what
remember
do you do? What do you do with Craig when you're like, I'm out?
he
Your
hangs with
parents.
mom and dad. Yeah, mom and dad. They had two dogs that passed away about 3 years ago. So it's been a nice soft landing. I mean, they're retired. I would never like burden my family, but they really love this dog. And
Look at
he's
him.
housebroken and he's chill. He relaxes a lot, and so it gives them something to do every morning. Take him out on a walk, and the evenings feed him, and he sleeps on my dad's chest when my dad takes a nap in the afternoon. Like it's just nice.
It's a
But
grandkid.
they couldn't handle a puppy, right? Like they're not in it for that. So it's actually worked out great, hasn't it? Hasn't it, big
How
girl?
old is Craig now?
He's 5.
Your
He's
baby.
5.
I mean, but look at this. Look at what I mean.
He's
Are you when
fat
you're like
though.
holding?
My mom got him fat this summer as I was traveling.
Yeah,
Came home and said,
he looks a little thick. Listen, that's what grandparents are supposed to do.
"Look at this guy."
Yo, you
Right.
need to take him. You need to take him on a little more hikes there, Shep,
Oh no,
Daddy.
I know. I'm going to take him back to Charleston next month. And at doggy daycare last year, after 2 months, he lost like 10 pounds.
See, you move your ass. But grandparents are supposed to fatten up.
That's right.
How often are they over it at this point? How often are your parents like, when is it a real grandkid?
Never once. No,
Never.
no, no,
They
no.
know.
They know me, and they have 5 grandkids. So, and like the oldest being 12 or 13, the youngest is 4 or 5. So they were very hands-on in helping raise my brother and sister's kids. And I mean, I'm sort of like, if I decide to go down that path, I'm sort of bummed because they'll be of age where they can't be as quite as hands-on.
I know.
So it's all good. It worked out great. I got 4 nieces and 1 nephew, and they're fantastic.
Does that ever, like, when you're hanging with them, are you like, cool, this is fun, now go back to your parents? Are you like, oh, this could be cool, I could do this?
I think I'm more of a enthusiast for kids that have a personality, and that I guess that kind of starts when you're like 5 or 6. Like if you're young, if you're just like a lump of flesh, like I don't know what to do. I'm just like great, but I'm really enjoying watching the older girls grow up and have sort of the insecurities I had at that age, and sort of the anxieties, and also the world is happening fast around them, and I think that's fascinating. That's the most but you gotta go through many years of just having a very helpless and vulnerable child, which would give me a lot of anxiety.
Many, and it never ends. It's like
I'm
bigger
sure.
the kid, bigger the problems. Like it never ends. What is that the question that you are like the most sick of being asked for the last 10 years?
No, I'd happily answer that question. You know, I was talking to Andy Cohen when I did his show last week, and I was asking about his kids, and he was like, "They're great, they're great." I was like, "Awesome." I was like, He's like, but I'm in the weeds pretty bad. I was like, yeah, I bet. Like, I think one of them's 1.5, the other one's 3.5 or
He's
something.
in it.
And he's like, but I hear, like, we talked before, and he was like, but Shep, like, I really think I did it at the right time. Like, when I was in my early 40s and mid 40s, I was making a career. I was all over the place. I was trying to do this and set this up and that up. I was like, I hear you, man. Like, I totally and utterly hear you. So we had like a nice little funny private conversation, and I was like, sort of like the George Clooney,
Yeah.
and Warren Beatty, tract, where, they had a lot of fun, and then they sort of hung up the old shoes, the cleats, as they say.
You think
And
you would ever see a time that you'd hang it up?
sure,
Really?
sure. It would, and it won't make any sense. I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be like, wait, what? And I'll be like, it's just something I felt. It's just like, timing is everything thing.
Your parents, how they are, were they like, what in the hell are you doing this reality show?
A lot of my friends and family were like, don't do this. But then a handful, but it was split 50-50. And my mom was the tiebreaker, and she goes, "You should have been on TV years ago."
No,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I was 33 when it started. She was just like, "Go be yourself. Like, go try to entertain people. See what they say. If they don't like it, yeah, you'll figure something else out." So they've always had faith in me that way. My mom, especially. My dad's more like, "You need a solid, steady job," and blah blah blah. I'm like, that's not who I am.
Does he watch?
Not anymore. Nobody, nobody I really know and love watches anymore. I feel like they were like, okay, we saw it. What, 5, 6, 7, like 6, 7 seasons. They're like, we get it. Congratulations. Continue. Enjoy yourself. But we really have, and I'm the same way. I mean, I watch. I don't know how many seasons. Like, I love that show Scandal. Right.
Mhm.
I watched 2.5 seasons. I was like, I get it, got it, liked it. Now
No, I'm
I don't
good.
need to watch it anymore. Yeah. There's a handful of other shows now. The shows I made it through were Lost
No,
and Game of Thrones,
everyone made it
and
through that.
yeah, and I'm trying to think of some other ones, but it's rare that you can hold my attention. And I'm a generally curious person for more than 2, 3, 4 seasons tops, because I like entertainment. I trust me, I do, but sort of, I understand. I'm not.
You're like, I get it. Now what's next?
Well, and that's a tribute to the Bravo fans, man. I mean, they are so loyal, so passionate,
Mhm.
and ravenous about the channel that you got to tip your hat to them. And obviously, Bravo has tapped into some really, really loyal fans, and they'll watch anything. And they're very emotionally invested in it, maybe too much sometimes. But
You know what though? You'll appreciate this because and most Bravo fans like don't. The sun is like fucking insane. So you know what now it just looks like I'm naked. That's good.
I see that.
Okay, I am just for you, Shep.
Yeah, I love it.
Only for you. In 150 interviews have I been topless, but just for you, I will. Jesus, fucking light. So what happens? I wish you know what? I can't even show you because this whole thing.
Wow.
No, the whole thing will go. I wish you could see this. When you come out to LA,
Yeah.
we'll get drinks. There you go.
Okay.
So, you know what I describe it as? Like, the Bravo fans are like sports fans. If you have your people, right? And maybe it's not as much for your show, but like Housewives, if you like a person, Buckeyes, you hate Michigan. And
I agree with that. And it's insane.
it's
It's
insane.
like, and I hate the term. I'm team Shep, or I'm team.
Totally.
I'm like, like everything's not black and white. But whatever. I mean, look, the most passionate of fans are passionate, and you got to appreciate them. And that goes back, and this goes back to what we were talking about before about people, when they're not behind a keyboard, everyone's pretty congenial. I mean, we have BravoCon in a few weeks,
I know.
and I'm sure there's people who, for whatever reason, don't have a distaste for me or my other co-stars or what have you. But everyone is so nice and positive in person. It's really amazing, and it's like you're a beetle. It's crazy. You like chase down the street like a Hard Day's Night. It's pretty amazing.
Have you had issues with other Bravo people?
Mm-mm. No, I haven't.
Who's like your Bravo, like, well, I saw the thing about like your mom asking, what would my mom say if I dated a housewife?
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about Bryn?
Yeah.
Yeah. She is funny.
I
I'll say
see
that.
it.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe there's not enough oxygen in the room for the both of us, you know?
You guys, yeah, I know. I think you need like.
Well, I mean, I mean, just off the bat, I wouldn't want my personal life to be fodder for, and look, I don't think, Us Magazine is going to create a nickname if I date a housewife or anything. I think they have bigger fish to fry, but like Benifer and some of those Brangelina, like that's something that I just on principle would never get involved with. I don't care who the fuck Angelina Jolie is or Jennifer Aniston or anybody else. Like there's other girls that people are going to follow you around and have like a body language expert, that shit on like people.
Oh my God.
Like I just don't, that sounds like hell. That sounds like a prison,
Do you see that?
Yeah, I've seen that. I mean, I thumb through Us Magazine at the grocery store. I might have bought one or might still buy one every now and then. I mean, it takes 10 minutes to read the whole damn thing. So it's not like a heavy reading. I like Vanity Fair quite a bit, but anyway.
Who do you miss the most on the show that's not on?
I mean, selfishly, I miss, well, for me personally, Cam, because we sort of sat back and laughed at a lot of the things going on around us. And
I know you guys were like the two together.
But show wise, T-Rav, I mean, he was the gift that kept on giving. And it was funny when he left the show or when he was no longer on the show, I kind of looked around with people like Craig and Whitney and some others. I'm trying to remember what season that was. I was like, there's a void now that somebody
yeah,
it has to be filled. I mean, an insanity void. And
you're like, hold my beer.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at least one season, I was like, oh my God, I've taken the mantle. But yeah, sometimes you don't even know how you're gonna look. You just have your sometimes hazy recollections of how filming went.
How's Catherine? Do you talk to her?
I did talk to her last spring, and she's moved out of Charleston. She's trying to work on herself and trying to work on this custody thing, battle or what have you. I mean, it's something that was really hard to hear and deal with while filming because it's such a delicate matter and nobody wants to interfere with that because it's heartbreaking.
It's tough. I know. I talked to her in the midst of it and it was like she would say something and like want to release and then she'd be like, I can't say that.
I know.
I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. And that was like for an hour. Like I couldn't even imagine a whole TV show.
Yeah. I mean, she's a complicated gal. I wish her all the best, of course.
It's crazy. Okay, listen. I have a game though, since we're very competitive people. And normally I would win all games, but this is just a game for you, Shep. Are you down to play it?
Sure.
In case any of your guests are listening.
They're not. They're showering.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
It is called Southern Charmed or Big Alarm. So I'm going to read you a statement, and it pertains to a lady.
Okay.
You're going to say Southern Charmed or a big alarm, okay, about the lady. Are you ready?
Yep.
Shep to play. She doesn't have a job.
Is she independently wealthy? That is.
I appreciate the follow up.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, yeah, if she's sitting on a pile of cash, don't work by all means.
Okay. She does not have a job and expects you to pay for everything.
No, thank you. What's it
No,
called?
thank
What do
you.
I say?
Alarmed.
Alarm. Southern
You're
alarm.
alarmed.
You're just alarmed. Southern Charmed or I'm alarmed.
Or alarmed. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, and that's a. I mean,
do they always expect you to pay?
No, it's fine, but don't get me started on this Southern and probably beyond way that and I think this is more in the past, but it still lingers. A young pretty girl, daughter of a man and a husband and wife or whatever, and they say, "Oh, honey, you don't have to study. You marry a rich man." I'm like, you fucking idiots.
I hate that.
I'm like, if you're fucking pretty or just whatever and smart, if the world is your fucking oyster, get
Everything.
it. Go get it. Don't be an airhead ever. And but some guys are kind of pathetic, right? Like some guys just like, okay, I'm no doormat. Like I'm not gonna I mean, I have goals and I want to be secure and happy. And the biggest way to deplete your resources is by kowtowing to somebody who doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, who just wants nice shit, who wants a private jet, who wants the nicest jewelry or whatever. Like I'm not going to do that. Like there's more things in life that are more important. And I don't know. That's my family operates that way. Nobody drives a nice car.
No,
We are very pragmatic and very practical, and I'll never change.
No, but like I love that, and that's what's hard here too in LA, because it's like, who are you because of what you drive and the house you have and the jewelry that you have.
You do that with the Joneses. Go fuck the Joneses. You can go.
Yeah,
you can all go to hell.
just
yeah.
You know what? That you said that I went to Miami, Ohio, and I'm studying my balls off. What?
In Athens, right? Is it in Athens or Oxford?
In Oxford, right by Middletown.
Yeah, but Oxford, Mississippi has University of Mississippi, and Athens, Ohio has the University of Ohio. Also Athens,
correct.
Georgia. Yeah.
Anyway. Look at you with your Ohio knowledge, Shep. Very impressive.
I know some.
So I'm studying my balls off because I was always like, good education. You can never be smart enough. You can always learn. Always learn anything. I don't care what the subject is. You can always be more knowledgeable about
being
anything.
Independent is the sexiest thing a girl can be, and I mean, it's absolutely knocks your socks off if you're like, I don't. And girls, look, it's happening. I mean, women are kicking ass more than they ever have, and it's kind of fun to watch.
I remember though, I was at Miami and I'm studying my balls off. And a girl was like, rich family. And they're like, what are you studying for? This and this. And they're asking different people. And she goes, I'm studying for my Mrs. degree. And I was like, what was that?
MRS degree. Yep.
I had never in my life. And I was like, is that
go to the SEC, go down south. And that is all it is. I mean, not all of it. I mean, again, things are rapidly changing. It's good to see. But yeah.
Listen, I'm with you.
Let's keep playing.
All right, go. Ready? Craig always barks at her.
That's impossible. Craig loves girls and loves people.
Okay. She can't leave the house without getting glammed up.
Mixed emotions on that. My threshold is 45 minutes. Anything over 45 minutes. Yeah, I can't deal. Like
you're very tolerant.
I'm ready at a moment's notice, literally at a moment's notice. I have guy friends who I've traveled with. I'm like, what is going on? Why aren't we leaving? Why aren't we walking out the door? Oh, my keys. Oh, my wallet. I'm like, no, all mine are right here. And I take a shower. I'm ready. Everything.
Let's go.
Hit the ground running. So I'm not a patient man.
I can't believe you give her 45 minutes.
Well, yeah.
You're a nice
I mean, that's
guy.
not that long. I mean, that's not that. That's pretty okay, right? Like 45 minutes is fine.
I'm the same way though. I'm like, let's go.
I don't like. I mean, I don't want makeup. I mean, wear t-shirt and jeans, especially if we're going to a beach bar or whatever. Like, if you have to look good all the time just to step out of the house, or in your mind look good, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you think it requires a bunch of war paint, no, we are not going to last. We're not going to last. That's not who I want. Yeah.
I don't know if you'd make it with an LA girl here. It's like,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's the thing about LA. It's a total melting pot. You don't know who you're going to find out there.
Never. Okay. Well, clearly I know the answer to this. She's afraid to fly.
No fucking way.
Your family has doubts about her.
No way. Goodbye.
No way. She gives you the ultimatum about
Although,
marriage.
look, I mean, doubts after a large sample size or initially. I mean, initially, you guys don't know, like, but that won't happen a lot. But you gotta, at least meet. I mean, if I have a good feeling, I would think that they would respect that. But
And they'd give her a shot.
Yeah, they would, and everyone. Yeah. Yes. Go on.
Okay. Your friends don't hate her, but aren't necessarily going out of their way to be nice to her.
See ya.
Bye. She's dated one of your best friends in the past.
Nope. See ya.
She is a Southern Charm super fan.
Super fan is. I mean, then
I will find you.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably not. I mean, but it's okay. The worst is when I don't know who you are. And you're like, okay. You're like, okay,
that's
great.
so annoying.
But like, that's a clear signal that they do. There's some weird people out there for sure.
What's the weirdest shit someone has said to you?
Oh, I don't know. It's too many to count.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay, your last one. No sex before marriage.
Get the fuck out of town. You think I'm going to fucking buy an apartment without walking through it?
I love you. I'm so happy we did this. Listen, this is awesome. Listen, I am having a great time watching. I can't believe you've been on Southern Charm this long. It has been so fun watching you. It's an awesome show.
It's been a roller coaster. I mean, I've essentially, grown up before a lot of your very eyes a little bit. I mean, from age 33 to now 44, like, you guys have seen me, change and metamorphosize, although some would argue that I haven't changed all that much, but I have. And especially my opinions and attitudes about being on TV and things of that nature. And I really feel blessed and happy. And hopefully I, continue to be able to entertain everyone.
Do you want to, is there a time that you're like, I'm done at this age or at this time?
I've been in that headspace, but man, you never look a gift horse in the mouth. Just don't be stupid. Don't walk away from something that let's say it's 70% everything's cool and fun and get to do cool things, get, flown here, flown there, to be on talk shows, get to be on podcasts like yours. And then, 30% is frustrating and I can't believe this. That's a pretty good hit rate. That's
Great. You're like, you're crushing in the major leagues with that percentage.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like what they do or are frustrated by a lot of things, and I think overall it's a good gig.
So where are you? Obviously, it's been nothing but Shep Taylor drama. Are you guys good? Cool? Fine?
We talked today, and we text. And we text fairly often, not crazy amount, but she had something to ask me, and I called her back, and we are in a really good space. And I texted her mom and dad and sister and her. We if any of us see a sunrise or a sunset that we enjoy, we send it to a group text. So we wonderful family, wonderful person. She's maybe a little in and over. I know was in over her head last season, and and you're gonna watch. You're gonna see her go through some rough stuff, but we all have been through rough stuff, and I keep trying to tell her that. And I think you come out better for it.
That's amazing. I love that sunset thing.
Yeah.
See, this is dope. This is why, like, in just this short time, like, I feel I just saw different sides of you.
That's funny. Yeah, I did a podcast with my friend Juliet, and we talked about everything under the sun, and she was like, I had no idea you had this sort of opinions or knowledge and stuff. I was like, yeah, to ask me anything. Like I love banter. I mean, this is my gig. This is what I enjoy, and the show has been a lot of fun. But I don't know. We'll see what's next for me, but I love this sort of thing.
This is why you're a good traveler.
Well, this is due to my traveling potentially, right? This is me. My perspective is my horizons are broad, Right.
But when you're going someplace, you don't know anybody, you walk in and you have to be social and learn. And
I love it. There's nothing that makes me happier than meeting people and being sort of having to feel my way around a situation or a city. I think it's amazing. You become a child again. Everything's new. Everything's, your mind is percolating. I don't know. I could go on. I should.
No, I agree. I love traveling. Just throw me in a place I don't know, even though there's so much shit right now going on in the world. Just like throw me in a place I don't know and let me just like find my way and meet you and why you're cool and why your business is so dope. And like, this is your livelihood that you built with your kids and like all that shit, like that story about the Australian.
It's what it's all about. I invite everybody who's listening to take a chance, buy a ticket, do whatever you can. Yeah.
Well, listen, let's come back for repeat 2 and talk more shit. When, you know what? How about this? When the Buckeyes beat Georgia.
There's a lot that has to go on before that would even be a possibility. But all the best to you, and it's nice to meet you. And
it's nice to meet you.